Yeah.
So
Yeah. So everything's streaming to YouTube right now.
I know. I saw it said like it looked like you were live, but I didn't see it actually.
Well, if you had something, you could watch it right now if you wanted to.
I'm here. I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
So you got
It's
eaten
redundant.
and planted, so he
Nice. I'm watching cat videos.
All right. So let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple weeks, and it's fucking awesome. Created by Josh, who is here on Hangouts.
So
Yeah. So everything's streaming to YouTube. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting feedback. So if you had something, you could watch it right now if you wanted to. So the
I
only
can turn it
thing
down. Let me.
Exactly.
so you got
That's
eaten
redundant.
or planted, so
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about
I just
Backdoor
thought it was
Factory.
distracting
I've been playing with it for the past couple weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh, who is here on Hangouts, and actually everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and PE file that I've noticed.
Okay.
Watch it right now. What it does
I can turn it
is
down.
it
Let me.
patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen is
Yeah, just leave it open.
all right, so let's talk about
I just
Backdoor
thought it was
Factory.
distracting.
I've been playing with it for the past couple weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh, who is here on Hangouts, and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and PE file that I've noticed.
Okay.
Watch it right now. What it does
I can turn it
is
down.
it
Let me.
patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about
I just
Backdoor
thought it was
Factory.
distracting.
I've been playing with it for the past couple weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh, who is here on Hangouts, and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and PE file that I've noticed. Watch it right now. What it does
I can turn it down.
is
Let me.
it patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about
I just
Backdoor
thought it was
Factory.
distracting.
I've been playing with it for the past couple weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way Josh, who is here on Hangouts, and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and PE file that I've noticed.
Okay.
Watch it right now. What it does
I can turn it
is
down.
it
Let me.
patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about
I just
Backdoor
thought it was
Factory.
distracting.
I've been playing with it for the past couple weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh, who is here on Hangouts, and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and PE file that I've noticed.
Okay.
Watch it right now. What it does
I can turn it
is
down.
it
Let me.
patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about
I just
Backdoor
thought it was
Factory.
distracting.
I've been playing with it for the past couple weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh, who is here on Hangouts, and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and PE file that I've noticed.
Okay.
Watch it right now. What it does
I can turn it
is
down.
it
Let me.
patches shellcode existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about
I just
Backdoor
thought it was
Factory.
distracting.
I've been playing with it for the past couple weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. He is here on Hangouts, and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and PE file that I've noticed.
Okay.
Watch it right now. What it does
I can turn it
is
down.
it
Let me.
patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh Math is here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh. Stone and P file that I've noticed. Right now. What it does
I can turn down
is
for me,
it patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well. Created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh Math is here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and P file that I've noticed. Right now. What it
Turn
does
down
is
for me,
it patches binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so. Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh Math is here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh. Stone and P file that I've noticed. Right now.
I can turn down for
It
me.
patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh Math is here on Hangouts and actually everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and P file that I've noticed. Right now. What it
Turn
is
down
it
for me.
patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
Let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well. Created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh Math is here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and P file that I've noticed. Right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down for
it
me.
patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh Math is here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and P noticed. Right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down
it
for me.
patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well. Created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh Math is here on Hangouts and making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and P file that I've noticed. What it does is it patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. Created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am. Josh Math is here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's streaming. Written in Python. I'm gonna mute you, Josh, because we're getting Capstone and P file that I've noticed. Right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down
it
for me.
patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it open.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am with his math stuff here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's written in Python. A couple I'm going to be using Josh because we're getting Capstone and he's right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down.
it patches shellcode into existing binaries. And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, he's way smarter than I am with his math stuff here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's written in Python. A couple I'm going to be using Josh because we're getting Capstone and he's right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down.
it patches shellcode
Actually,
to existing binaries.
hello.
And the big caveat that I've seen
Yeah, just leave it.
all right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am with his here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's written in Python. A couple I'm going to be using Josh because we're getting Capstone and he's right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down.
it patches shellcode
Actually,
to existing binaries.
hello.
And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am with his math stuff here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's written in Python. A couple I'm going to be using Josh because we're getting Capstone and he's right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down.
it patches shellcode
Actually,
to existing binaries.
hello.
And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am with his math stuff here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's written in Python. A couple I'm going to be using Josh because we're getting Capstone and he's right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down.
it patches shellcode
Actually,
to existing binaries.
hello.
And the big caveat that I've seen that I like is it doesn't.
Yeah, just leave it.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks, and it's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than I am with his math stuff here on Hangouts and actually making it work. Everything's written in Python. A couple I'm going to be using Josh because we're getting Capstone and he's right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down.
it patches shellcode
Actually,
to existing binaries.
hello.
And the big caveat that I've seen that I like.
Yeah, just leave it.
All right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks.
Yo.
It's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than
Can you hear me?
his math stuff here on Hangouts and actually making it work.
Okay, I'll turn you down. I noticed, didn't you set the,
Capstone.
I'll put a headset on, 1 second.
Right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down.
it patches
All right,
shellcode.
Actually,
Did you use
Hello?
what was?
And
Did you do
the big
info
caveat that I've seen
on your or show
that I like
options
is it doesn't.
on your interpreter
All
settings?
right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks.
Yo.
It's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than
Can you hear me?
his math stuff here on Hangouts and actually making it.
I'll turn you down. I noticed, didn't you set the,
Capstone.
I'll put a headset on, 1 second.
What it does
I can turn
is
down.
it patches
All right,
shellcode.
Actually,
Did you use
Hello?
what was?
And
Did you do
the big
info
caveat that I've seen
on
that
your or show
I like
options
is it doesn't.
on your interpreter
All
settings?
right, so let's talk about Backdoor Factory. I've been playing with it for the past couple of weeks.
Yo.
It's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than
Can you hear me?
his math stuff here on Hangouts and actually making it work.
Okay, I'll turn you down. I noticed, didn't you set
Is that better?
the,
Capstone.
I'll put a headset on, 1 second.
right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down.
it catches
All right,
code.
actually,
Did you use?
What was? Could you do
The big
info
caveat that I've seen
on
that
your or
I
show
really
options
like is
on your interpreter
all
settings?
right, so let's talk about vector factors. I've been playing with it for the past couple weeks.
Yo.
It's fucking awesome. All right, well, created by Josh Pitts. He's way smarter than
Can you hear me?
Josh who is here on Hangouts, actually making it work.
okay, I'll turn you down. I noticed, didn't you set
Is that better?
the,
Capstone.
I'll put a headset on, 1 second.
Right now. What it does
I can turn
is
down.
it catches
All right,
code.
Actually,
Did you use?
You there, Josh? Nope. He's infomuted.
Not even Google could handle it.
Connection was lost. What?
Play. Up arrow. Up arrow. Up arrow. Right now. Go. Go. Woo! Oh yeah. Oh! Disappointing.
Cactus in the ass.
It will happen.
Alright, Josh, you there?
Yeah.
Ah, that's much better.
Okay. Yeah, I put a headset on. Apparently,
You know?
that was in loop, I guess.
That's alright.
So what was the exit method you were using for your interpreter settings?
Oh, I don't know.
Just do just your show options if it's still there. Okay, because if you're using a process, right, it will kill us when you migrate. If you're using a thread, it'll just kill the thread. Mhm.
Specify your exit mode or the way the process exits. And I probably should have thought of that.
No worries. I've made that mistake a couple times.
So let's see if it's working again. No, wrong. Use exploits multi-member. Let's reset this up. Set payload. Let's see. Where was it? Do you remember where that was?
It's exit function,
Oh, there we go.
or what do you?
Oh, exit function. There it is. Exit func to thread.
Yep.
10 dot So now 3. Sending stage. I didn't have auto migrate, so let's just migrate to 2316. Migrated successfully. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
So that's how you do it.
Maintain. Alright.
See, like I said, Josh
Sweet.
is much smarter than I am.
No, I've just made a bunch of mistakes.
So repeat that
Well,
again.
then I should be a genius.
So
I've learned from my mistakes.
Fair play, sir. Fair play.
So the way you get around that is the exit func option on Metasploit, and then you set it to thread. So it just exits the thread instead of the whole process.
So you have it set up to auto migrate with the exit function,
Yeah.
thread, and then
And then it's
everything's
seamless. You never know anything happened
Alright,
unless you're looking at the logs.
that's pretty.
But pretty sexy.
That is pretty sexy. Well played, Josh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The other thing that I like is the Veil framework is actually implemented Backdoor Factory into it.
Mhm.
So if you're generating Veil payloads, you can tell it to do Backdoor Factory, and then does its magic, and then as well as migrate or patches it into an existing binary.
So what is Veil?
What is Veil? Veil is awesome AV evading. They do a whole lot of. If I remember correctly, and I may be wrong, Josh may be able to correct me on this, but I believe they compile malicious binaries using Python's compiler, and it gets by AV because you're, hard compiling Python.
How do you MSF encode?
So, like, MSF encode is depreciated. They like to use MSF Venom now. From what I've seen, MSF Venom will tack on your shellcode to the end of the binary.
So it's visible.
So it's much more visible, much easier by AV, and you do the file system, the file size increase.
Yeah.
Whereas using the code cave is nice and tricky.
And I'm getting away from the Metasploit payloads. If you saw the IAT payload, it is what IAT means import address table. So what I'm doing is if you're familiar with the PE format, there imports in the PE file itself. And so what I do is I use the imports themselves to call like load library A get process address to load your shellcode. So I'm not using Stephen Fewer's API hash lookup, which is what gets flagged by AV. So I'm moving payload code back to static position dependent code because you don't need to be position independent when you're patching a binary. So it's more closer to compile code than exploit code.
And as you'll see right there is the IAT payloads. So my question to you, Josh, how do you modify the runtime to be able to hit the shellcode in those code caves?
So I hooked the first instruction.
Okay.
I have a jump, and I'm working on getting away from that. I can actually, because I use what's it called, Capstone Engine, which is a disassembler. I can actually move away from the first instruction, move up to the first jump or call, if that makes sense. So right now I hook the entry point, so I am the first thing to execute. And so it jumps through the code caves, assembles the payload in memory, executes the payload, and then it executes whatever the instructions were overridden, and then it jumps back to where it left off.
Did I hear you right? Did you say that it jumps through the code caves? Will it use the space of multiple code caves if necessary?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Like if you use if you show them like a jump, see what jump looks like.
He's talking to you.
Oh, what was that?
Yeah. If you show them the jump, the J flag,
Oh,
that
yeah.
may be something you're gonna do. But yeah.
Okay.
Um,
me do that. Reverse stager. And then dash J dash 8 10 108 713 dash 4444. So it's going to say available code caves. I'm going to hit 2. It'll give us another section of code caves in there. Yeah. 7.
Don't pick the same number twice.
Yes. So we use 2, 7, and 11. And boom, you know, the exact same thing you said. And it's going across 3 different code caves. The other one that he was showing me today was dash M, which, you know, once you understand the whole process, M is how he put it, like kitty mode. You do that and it'll auto select which caves to use the best caves available, and then patch it for you.
That just sounds efficient. I do like all the ASCII art changing.
Yes.
That took longer than the actual code to do everything. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn it!
The website's for
spaces
that.
are off.
But
Very cool.
yeah, very cool.
Very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
for real, and yeah, that's really cool. I dig it. I'm gonna go fuck.
Yeah, more people need to play with it.
So I frequently upload these binaries to VirusTotal just to see. Like, I've been doing this for over 2 years now, almost 3, and yeah, I always upload just stuff to VirusTotal. And it's hilarious. The other day I got 0 out of 57 or something.
Nice. Wow.
So it's pretty funny.
Just another AV bypass detection.
Yeah. Which can't have too many of.
No, you can't. But what I've actually done is I'm getting ready for an engagement here coming up that I wrote a Ducky script that downloads via PowerShell backdoor factory binary and runs it.
Good deal.
Hilarious.
It's great. And then we get to drop that off at a client. Yeah, have fun.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for me or anything?
Let's see. What was that?
If you've got man in the middle, can you automate this and automatically backdoor files just come across the network?
Yes, he has a project for that. I believe. If you want to talk about that, Josh, you can.
Yeah, it's called so backdoor factory is short for is actually long for BDF. BDF, and so I wrote BDF proxy, and so it actually will man in the middle. It uses man in the middle proxy to actually man in the middle binaries during download. It's pretty fun.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, it works great. Now with the full automatic patching, see, BDF actually supports ELF binaries also, and also Mako, so OS X. I did a presentation at SmoothCon in January, and I was able to buy Google Santa. If you guys know what Google Santa is, it's a whitelisting tool. Little Snitch, and pretty much any check that was available for OS X. So you can use with BDF proxy, since you use backdoor factory, you can patch ELF, Mako, and PE files automatically, and you can the config file is pretty robust, so you can set it to a certain domain, a certain binary, to certain sizes, and you can just set and forget.
But that only works on things going over plain text.
Yeah, that's the whole point of why I made it, because I want HTTPS everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just something I want. And so finally, I gave Rusanovich a hard time about this, and finally you can go to live system terminals over HTTPS. Finally.
Nice.
But you can also do HTTP for some reason. They have both, so you can actually do if you can do a downgrade attack.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's like SSL strip, for example, would work perfectly with that. So yeah. And because of this research, I was able to actually find what was it, Onion Duke? You guys heard about that? It was a Tor exit node that's patching binaries, man in the middle. You can Google it. It's kind of cool. I actually found a Russian exit node patching binaries during download, and yeah, it's kind of funny.
Do you know if he was using your code?
What's that?
Do you know if he was using your code?
No, he wasn't. It's a totally new method, and I'm working on implementing it in BDF.
Nice.
Yeah, I submitted a talk to DEF about it, and hopefully they approve it. And if not, I'll just write a blog post and release it, whatever. So yeah.
Well, good thing we know one of those review board members.
Hey, whatever. I'm drinking my beer. So yeah. Any other questions?
Guess
the,
not.
the mitigations against this is SSL to protect your connection, so you're not getting man in the middle, and this happens automatically. And then I guess whitelisting is probably the best defense. I'd imagine.
So whitelist. Now I hands on a copy of bit 9. They will not give me a copy. I've tried everything. Because I wanted to, I've been able to bypass a lot of whitelisting solutions with this, because that's what I use BDF to test. If a lot of times if you execute before the whitelist solution loads, you win. And for instance, with Google Santa, because it actually loads very late in the process. So
Jeremy at Sobit. And
Sobit?
Yeah. Jeremy at Sobit.org, and I'll see if we can get you access to Bit9. I work for a partner.
Okay.
So we don't have a lab copy live now, but we might be able to facilitate something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because I've talked to many engineers, and they just mention what I do and like see how they work. They immediately stop talking to me. So that's okay though. It depends. It depends on how Docker is implemented. If ties back to a talk I did at ShmooCon on userland persistence for OS X. So it's kind of a fun talk.
Hot.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. So.
Anyone?
What are you drinking?
It's
a Belgian double.
Nice.
Or
Triple. It's like 10%. So first beer of the night. It's been a long day. But yeah.
Let's see,
anything else I can say about BDF?
There's actually
they send me an email. Supposedly, I got this email the other day. There's a couple kids out of Austria that are for a school project. They're implementing this in C. Because I said during DerbyCon, I said, you know what, if you really want speed with BDF proxy, implement it in C. And so they're actually doing, they did it, but they haven't released the code. I'm trying to get them to release the code because the speed improvements would be amazing. But who knows? You know, they may not be allowed to release it. But there's like 4 guys working on it. These guys are insane, like insanely smart. So hopefully, I don't know if it's like master's or undergrad, but yeah, it's a pretty cool project they're working on. So I'm gonna keep pushing for that. That they release the code. That'll be great.
Is there a way to detect that a binary has been patched with these code caves? I mean, is that something that, you know, if an antivirus vendor were looking for something, is that something that...
So it would be really easy to catch this because what I do is, if right now what I do is, so you have the text section. Usually it's execute, right? It's got an execute flag on it, read execute. And then you have like the data section that'll be read write, for example. And so what I do is that once I patch code into the data section, I change it to read write execute. So if an AV really wanted to flag on a malformed binary, they could flag on that there's like the R data section, the data section, or read write execute versus read write. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm working on.
Sorry.
So I guess are they not doing it because it would break other things, or are they just?
Maybe they're would flag other binaries, right? It's just AV development seems like a challenge to me.
You know, how do you find
the bad out of mini binaries?
So I'm actually
working on a method where I put a stub in the text section,
and then I go and read the shellcode so that the flags don't change for the other sections. If that makes sense. So all the sections will contain the same flags as before. So I want to get as close as possible to what the original binary would look like if you were to do it. So if you're familiar with imphash, that's so you'll have a hash. If you look on VirusTotal and you go to like the detail section, they'll have a hash for every section for .text, data. And so my goal is to get as close as possible to not modifying that. Of course, if you put any change to any section, you're going to modify that. But then also for the forensic analyzer. I want them to be able to look at the binary and say, well, you know, this is really nothing crazy. But if you look at the jump, right, like the first instruction, if it jumps out of the text section to the data section, it's got to be a red flag. You know what I mean? Like the data section shouldn't have executable code. It just shouldn't. So.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. But I mean,
you could take and patch like ping or auto runs or something like that from system terminals uploaded to VirusTotal right now using an IAT payload, and you would have probably maybe 0 to 2 hits.
Nice.
So I mean,
Whitelisting's the way to go.
If you're in
If you're in a large enterprise environment with central control, whitelisting's the way to do it.
Say, how long have we been saying that?
A long time.
A long
Like
time.
everybody's
Like
been
everybody's
saying
been saying that, right?
That's
I mean, Target
if
Target would have done that,
it'd have
saved them a lot of heartache.
It seems like in the Target's environment, you shouldn't have much running on a POS. I don't think they have much excuse for not doing it. I mean, in
Right.
an enterprise where you've got lots of executables, lots of different types of users, I can see, where that might be more complicated.
Yeah.
So
So if you got any
questions,
I have
a channel
BD
Factory
on Freenode.
on Freenode.
A couple of people sit in there,
like Mutz and some other folks. Just
so when I say I
have updates, they can. This is in Cali.
It's in
probably Black Bun 2 also. I think maybe.
Oh no, I don't talk.
I don't talk to those guys, but.
Don't be racist.
I was gonna say he's in the South, right?
No comment.
No comment
on anything.
on anything.
No comment.
No comments.
Yeah. So pop in there. Use
it. GitHub. If you have any issues, got any questions. Twitter.
I'm on Twitter.
So yeah.
I think there was an update pushed to GitHub just this afternoon.
Yeah, today.
You found a bug, and I fixed it.
Yay!
Good job. So I thank you for having me. It's always cool to see other people using something you wrote. Because it doesn't happen very often. I've heard stories of people using this at like a NCDC or whatever that college collegiate championship thing is. And other people use it on clients, but never ever seen anyone else use it but me. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah,
It's
thanks,
fucking
man.
sexy as shit.
Yeah, awesome tool.
Appreciate it. All right. Well, I'm going to peace out unless anybody else has any questions.
No, I think you're good.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Cool.
All right. Well, see y'all later.
See y'all
Good
later.
night.
That's it.
Now you're gonna probably kill the live stream.
Cool. I got a jet, but that's cool. That's cool. I have a jet.